In this video, I'm going to be talking about a little technique known as habit tracking, which can be used to make small iterational improvements to your life. It's useful to me, I think it'd be useful to you, so let's just get stuck in. So, what do I mean by habit tracking? I think it's fair to say that most of us, over the course of our lives, spend a lot of time trying to implement habits that we would like and to get rid of habits that we know aren't good for us. But doing so is really hard. I know this myself very well. I have tried to implement millions and millions of habits that I've just never quite got off the ground for one reason or the other. And as for the negative habits, I seem to be particularly good at sticking with them for some reason. And I'm sure that many of you watching will have experienced similar things. Habit tracking is a really simple idea. All you have to do is make a little note every time you perform a habit that you want to continue doing. I personally use it for daily habits, but there's no real time limitation on it. I'm sure it can be used for hourly habits, monthly habits, weekly habits, yearly habits, anything. One of the simplest ways to track your habits is to have a calendar, for example. And say it's a daily calendar and you want to implement a daily habit. I don't know, you want to drink 2.5 litres of water every day. Each day, when you know that you've had your 2.5 litres, then you just make a little tick in the box. Simple as that. And what happens is, as these ticks build up, you feel better and better and better about yourself. You get a streak going, you end up with a page of sexy ticks. It's lovely. It's important actually to talk about where I picked up this idea of habit tracking from. I came across this writer a couple of years ago, and his name is James Clear. And what he basically writes about are habits just in totality, but also behavior and how we as humans can change our behavior to live the lives that we want to live, to make our performance optimal, etc, etc. I read about habit tracking in one of his blogs quite a while ago, and I kind of used it a bit for a while, but then I forgot about it. And luckily, not too long ago, James Clear came out with a beautiful little book. Actually, this book could have been in my last video, 6 books of 2018, but I read it just on the turn of the year. So I finished it in 2019, so it's kind of a book that's in limbo a bit. It's a brilliant book and 100% worthy of reading. Habit tracking is just one minuscule idea in the entirety of this book. Anyway, reading this book reminded me of this idea and also of one of the best ways to track habits, which James Clear mentions. You can do the tick in the boxes method and it is really helpful. There's another method though, and this is the one that myself and my girlfriend have been using. This is how it goes. We've got 2 bowls, coconut bowls actually, not 2 halves of the same coconut, unfortunately. I think they're cousins rather than siblings. So we fill one of the coconut bowls with pegs. See that? There's 30 pegs in here. I'll just show you one. Actually, they're not pegs as such. They're curtain hooks. Don't really want to get into it, but we ended up with too many because I'm an idiot. So you got this bowl and it's full of curtain hooks. There's 30 of them in here. And the reason for that is that generally there are about 30 days in a month, and we set monthly challenges, monthly habit challenges that we try to keep up. So day 1, let's say my challenge is to drink water every day, 2.5 litres, like I said earlier. I drink my water, and then at the end of the day, when I've drunk my water, pretty simple, like I said, I just grab the peg from this bowl and put it into that one. That's it. That's all it is. One of the things that James Clear mentions in Atomic Habits is that just by being able to see your progress, you're much more likely to keep going. When you've got a habit tracking method like this one, or like ticking boxes, or moving a paper clip from one jar to the other, something like that, you can see the building up of good days. And this is just about enough to keep you going when you're not seeing enough progress physically. For example, when you're making a weight goal. Another added bonus is that when you put in the peg and it makes that little noise, you actually get a little bit of a dopamine hit. You feel good about it. People will have noticed this when you make a checklist or a to-do list for the day, and as you tick it off, something happens inside, you feel a little bit good. When all the pegs have moved from one bowl to the other, then we're done for the month and we move on to a new habit. Obviously, we don't just drop the habit for the last month. We try and integrate that habit into our lives. So far, me and my girlfriend have done 30 days worth of squats. So it was 30 squats every day, and my thighs were killing by the end of it. Then the next month I did 2 Turkish get-ups every day whilst my girlfriend did reading. And now on the 3rd month, what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna try and cut fake meats out of our diet for 30 days, just to see how we feel. When me and my girlfriend first adopted a vegan diet 2 years ago, straight away we noticed numerous health benefits. We felt better, we had more energy, things like our skin cleared up, and that was because the principal component of our diet was vegetables. We were eating loads and loads of vegetables, so naturally we got a lot healthier. The lack of meat meant that by default on your plate you had loads more vegetables, but gradually over the past 2 years more and more and more products have come out to replace meat that have meant that you don't really necessarily have to go without. The amount of meat replacements now is unbelievable. You've got sausages, hot dogs, sausage rolls, chicken nuggets, chicken burgers, steak, fish fingers, prawns. The list goes on. There is tons of stuff. And whilst this has been absolutely great and it's been a breath of fresh air to try all these new foods, slowly our diet has started to contain a little bit too much of these products. We started to base our dinners around that traditional vegetable, meat, and then sort of chips or rice or kind of a carbohydrate type thing on the side. I really enjoy these products, but after talking with my girlfriend, we decided that this would be our next challenge, and we go 30 days with eating no fake meat at all. The meals that we've had so far have required just a little bit more invention. We had purple cabbage soup the other day, which I put on my Instagram, which was lovely. Anyway, back to the habit tracking. I really recommend you try this out. You've got nothing to lose. I know it sounds simple. I know you're probably thinking, how is that going to make any difference? But it really can. So just give it a try. It can be anything. Stopping drinking coffee, drinking more coffee, stopping eating a certain food, go for a run 3 times a week, 30 press-ups every day, stuff like this. Personally, I think it's best to start small, because if you start too big, the habit could become unsustainable and you might end up giving up. What this is about is developing a daily or weekly, whatever habit for now, and sort of implementing it and becoming consistent. You can scale the habit later, you can make it bigger, you can turn 10 press-ups into 30 press-ups, and so on and so forth. 1 peg every day is 1% better every day, and if you keep going, eventually you're going to see results. So I guess finishing up, why not set yourself a challenge for the next 30 days? I don't know, something that you've wanted to do for a while. Something small that you know will just make your life that little bit better. Because if you do something small every day for the next 5 years, at the end of those 5 years, you're gonna see big results. So if you do decide to set yourself a little challenge, please let me know what it is in the comments below, because I'm really interested to know how you want to improve your life, and I'm interested to see how you get on. Finally, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who's supported me so far. Even just the littlest thing like liking one of my posts or commenting or liking one of my videos makes a big difference. So I really appreciate it. Things like that keep me going. One thing I will say is that if you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, then please do. That is the one that makes all the difference to me, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely other people are going to see my video. That'll be all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at some point next week.